Hi guys, West Country Explorer here again. Now, today's video I'm going to be going to a few different locations. What I'm doing in this video is I'm taking you around the Golden Cap Pilgrimage Trail. Well, it's a collection of 12 Anglican parish churches, 11 in West Dorset, 1 in East Devon. They all fall under the sort of umbrella of the Golden Cap team, and the Golden Cap team have created a pilgrimage trail around the 12 churches. What I'll do is I'll put a link to their website in the description, because they've got a page about on their website they've got a page about the pilgrimage trail. They have got a suggested route, like order that you can go around the churches, but they do say you can do whatever order you like. Now, I'm going to start today at St Giles Church in Chideock, and I'm going to end up at the church in Lyme Regis, and obviously do the other 10 churches in between. And like I said, just take you around the different churches and do the pilgrimage trail. Well, I hope you enjoy it, guys. I'm certainly going to enjoy exploring. See you in the main vid. So here we have St Giles Church. Now, you'll be able to hear a lot of traffic in the background. You'll see the main road in a minute. It's the A35. It's a main road in the area. It's relatively peaceful and quiet around this side of the church. But when I take you around the other side, you'll definitely hear the traffic a bit more. Zoom in on that. I can't get inside, door's locked. There's a homeless person currently sleeping in the porch. Felt a bit sorry disturbing the poor bloke when I went to see if the door was open. So, now with the Golden Cap Pilgrimage Trail, I did walk it a couple of years ago, well at least 2 years ago now. And what you can do is when you go around the churches, each church has a badge. Obviously you've got to be able to get inside to get the badge. Yeah, so each church has its own badge with a picture of the church on the badge. And you can collect all 12 badges. It's £1 a badge. At least it was when I did it. And when you've collected all 12 badges, you can contact the Golden Cap team, show that you've collected all 12 badges, and free of charge they give you a big badge, commemorative badge. I think it's got like the Golden Cap logo on it if I remember rightly. Now I'm not going to bother collecting badges this time because I've already got them. There's the main road there. Noisy old road. A couple of seagulls on the top. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to quickly take you around the back where it's a bit quieter. Our St Giles Church has got 6 bells in all. One was cast in 1887 to commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee, I've remembered that right. And one was cast in 2012 to commemorate Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee. One of the bells, it was the oldest bell there, cast in the, what year was it? Early 1700s. The date, the year 1603 stuck in my mind. But anyway, the oldest bell there, cast I'm pretty sure early 1700s, got a rather interesting mistake on it. A couple of letters were transcribed. Instead of saying trust in God, it says trust in dog. And I feel sure there's probably quite a few people and sort of non-Christians who'd probably much rather trust in a dog than trust in God. Yeah, so but anyway, yeah, so there's if you want to trust in a dog, there's some dogs I trust more than I trust some humans, I know that. But anyway, joking aside, there's quite a rather interesting sort of mistake on one of the bells. Yeah, one of the bells says trust in dog, so there you go. But anyway, that's the outside of St Giles Church in Chideock. Unfortunately, couldn't get inside, but at least we can see the outside, and it's a sunny day as well. Brucey bonus. Well guys, I've now got to cycle up a steep hill out of Chideock, and those of you that know the area well know how steep the hill is. So I'm going to cycle up the hill out of Chideock. My next stop, Morcombelake. See you there, guys. Well guys, I managed to get out of Chideock. Now, those of you that don't know Chideock, it's part way between Lyme Regis and Bridport on the main A35. It's at the bottom of two hills. Both hills are about 14-15%, so pretty steep. Not as steep as Porlock Hill in Somerset, which is about 25%, but still pretty steep. So I've got up the hill out of Chideock, which is good. Bad news, as you can see behind me, still got the A35. I haven't quite escaped that yet, but I soon will. And I'm now at Staunton St Gabriel Church in Morcombelake. So that's going to be the next church, and this one's open so I can get inside. About 1.5 miles, 2 miles sort of behind me, not necessarily directly behind me, there was a village called Staunton St Gabriel. That's where this church gets its name from. And at Staunton St Gabriel there was a church, St Gabriel's Church. At some point in the future I'm going to do a video on St Gabriel's Church at Staunton St Gabriel. The village isn't there anymore, it's depopulated. What it was, sort of the settlement of Bridport as it grew larger, villagers from Staunton St Gabriel moved there, so the population got smaller. The main road that used to run through Staunton moved inland due to coastal erosion. It moved inland to its present location. So Staunton St Gabriel, due to the loss of the main road, decrease in population, no longer there. All that's there is, I think it was either a manor house or a large farmhouse, now private dwellings. Just one building, private dwellings, and the ruins of St Gabriel's, which I'm going to do a video on at some point in the future, so look out for that guys, don't know when I'm going to do it. But now I'm going to do St Gabriel's Church in Morcombelake. As you can see, stinking main road there, but we need roads for cars, so can't complain too much. It's quite a nice little church. Little graveyard here. See what's down this side. Don't know if there's much. Little bell tower there. Architecturally speaking, the outside of this church is a bit plain. Nothing wrong with that, nothing wrong with that at all. I'll pause up there a second, can't really make out what it says. Pick out a odd little word. Oh, from a couple of graves here as well. What I'm going to do now, guys, take you inside. It's nice when you can go inside a church. It's nice to be able to see inside and outside. There you go. God is love. Again, can't quite make out all the words on that. Oh, in we come. Close up, got some. There we go. Oh, close that up a sec. There you go. Feel free to pause if you want to read all that. Little organ at the back there. Or you can do books here. There you go. So if you're in the St Gabriel, if you're in the Morcombelake area and fancy a second-hand book, right, so these four pictures, obviously the top left, bottom right, that's the church we're at now. Top right, bottom left, that's St Gabriel Church in Staunton, St Gabriel, that's a ruined church. That's where I'm going to go at some point in the future. Do a video on that. Now like I said back at St Giles Church in Chideock, when I did the pilgrimage trail a couple of years or so ago, at each church you could get a badge, and when you got all 12 badges you could get a big commemorative badge, complete the set. Now I haven't seen any badges here in this one. I'm not sure if they're still doing them, or whether they've stopped them completely, or whether they've temporarily stopped them because of COVID. I mean, if they have temporarily stopped doing the badges because of COVID, I'd have thought they wouldn't be doing the books. I'd have thought they'd probably stop the books as well. Now, they might have stopped doing the badges. It might be that they currently haven't got any badges for this church in stock, which is why I haven't seen any, I don't know. Doesn't bother me personally, because I've already got the set. But anyway, yeah. What I'd say is, if this video has inspired you to do the pilgrimage trail, and you fancy getting the badges as you do it, as a way of like a little memento commemorating the fact you've done it, might be worth getting in contact with the Golden Cap team first and see, are you still doing the badges? Well guys, that's it for Staunton St Gabriel's Church at Morcombelake. The good news is I'm now getting away from the main A35. I'm getting into the countryside along country lanes, more into village churches, set in lovely Dorset countryside. So that's a good one, isn't it guys? See you at the next church. Here you go guys, church number 3, and we're at St Candida and Holy Cross in Whitchurch, Canonicorum. Like I said, one of only 2 churches in the country that has got a shrine that survived the Reformation. So I'll talk more about that when I get inside the church. I'll show you around guys. Now this church has got to be probably one of my favourite churches in West Dorset. It's a very photographic church. I love taking photos of it. I've got loads that I've taken. So I think it is known as the Cathedral of the Vale. It has got Saxon origins. Nothing left of the Saxon church, but I think St Alfred the Great built a Saxon church here. I think this has got 12th century origins. There's a zoom in. St Candida, St White. Candida is the Latinized translation. Talk more about her when you get inside. She's the one who's got the shrine here, the Shrine of St White. So I'll get in a minute. But I mean, this is so quiet. So just blue skies, everybody. Little country lane there. Obviously yesterday when I was doing my video around Lyme, a few showers. Then when I cycled over to visit family, like visit my older sister and her family, I got absolutely soaked in a localised shower. Absolutely drenched. So far today, no rain. What I'll do guys, if I come over here a bit, try not to walk over any graves. Sorry souls if I accidentally walk on your grave. Just look at that open countryside. Right then guys, let's take you inside. Right, so here we have the Shrine of St White. Don't know for definite who St White was. Most popular theory, one that I personally feel has got the strongest argument in favour of it, is that she was an Anglo-Saxon hermit who lived in the area, and that she was killed during a Viking invasion. I think it was either the 6th or 7th century. Some Vikings landed in the Charmouth area and she got killed in the massacre. Another belief that St White was a Breton lady. So, but I'm more inclined to believe she was a the Anglo-Saxon hermit. Down near Morcombelake there is a shrine, there is a well, a holy well to St White. So at some point I'll take you there. You can put prayer cards in here, and it's supposed to have healing properties, the shrine. Thankfully I've been allowed to do a bit of recording in here, which is quite nice. As you can see, it's quite a nice church. I said few people at the back, so I don't really want to include them. That's why I'm not getting too low with my camera. So you can get some books. There's a book there, Who Was Sent White? That's quite a good book, and so is that one to get, guys. You can get a few different postcards as well. Now, this church here, Church of St Candida, it is in the book of Dorset's best churches, the one I'm doing a series of videos on. So at some point in the future I'm going to come back and do a video on this church in its own right. But what I'm going to do with that video is, because as I said inside, just down the road near Morcombelake there's a holy well, the Well of St White. So I'm going to include that well in the video of this church that I do when I come back to do it in the Dorset Best Churches series. So keep your eyes open for that one. That's another video I've got on my list of ones to do. So that's church number 3 for this video. Now on to church number 4. Lovely countryside. There's that nice empty country road. Look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Part of the choice of living out in the countryside, get that on the lanes on a nice sunny day, just cycling around, enjoying the sights. Really is good. Beats being stuck indoors at work and all the rest, sitting at a desk, doing whatever. Can't beat it. Well guys, here we are at Bettiscombe. I'm sitting outside the village hall. I'm going to take you to the St Stephen's Church in Bettiscombe in a minute. Just thought I'd sit here for a second for a little rest. There is one story associated with Bettiscombe and Bettiscombe Manor. It's the Screaming Skull. Now, I can't offhand remember the story behind the Screaming Skull. My mobile data isn't working at the moment on my mobile, so I can't check it. So what I'm going to do is when I get home and I've got access to Wi-Fi, I'm going to check the proper story, put it in the description so you all know about the Screaming Skull, this backstory to it. But basically at Bettiscombe Manor there's a skull in like a little, it's got its own little alcove, and whenever it's moved out of the alcove it starts screaming and continues screaming until it's put back in the alcove. Now, the most common story I come across with regard to this screaming skull is it belongs to a Jamaican slave. But apparently studies have been done and it's been discovered that this skull isn't actually the skull of a Jamaican male, it's actually of a female. So like I said, I'm gonna noisy vehicles going by. Like I said guys, as soon as I get back to me mum and dad's and access to Wi-Fi, I can double check the story. I ain't going to try and recount what I remember because my memory's a bit sketchy on the details, but yeah, the story will be in the description. So there you go. But anyway, that's Bettiscombe Screaming Skull. But we're not here for the stories of the Screaming Skull, we're here for the church. So I'm going to take you to St Stephen's now. Let's just bring you down this little lane here. Oh, little grassy footpath there. There you go, St Stephen's Church, Bettiscombe. Nice little house there. Is it a house? Pretty sure that's a house, yeah. Oh, that's quite nice and quiet, isn't it? Little gate there through to that house. They don't have far to go to get to the Sunday morning service. Oh. Right then guys, let's see if this one's open. Hopefully it is. Very beautiful. Very beautiful indeed. Right, here we go. This one's open. Question is this one? Yes, it is. Lovely. Wow, guys. It's been a long time since I've been in here. I've forgotten how lovely this place is. Wow, wow, wow. I'd forgotten how beautiful it is inside here. Just zoom in on that a sec. The Belfry Tower Hill. Actually, did I get a proper look at that? Peace be still. Well, definitely the kind of church you can come to for peace and just sit down and be still. Right, yeah. Right, yeah. There you go, a bit of information on that. This is St Stephen's Church, Bettiscombe. Well, here I am, guys, at church number 5, and it's St Mary's in Marshwood, in the Marshwood Vale. As you can see behind me, some lovely views, which I'm going to show you a bit more of when I get into the graveyard, into the churchyard. Shall I take you inside, guys? Yeah, let's take you inside and show you around a bit. Just thought I'd start off showing this. There's another car coming now. So I was going to read it out, but you can always pause it and have a read for yourself. Yeah, there's quite a few cars going by at the minute. There's Marshwood Primary School. Here we got the church. Right, so I'll see if I can get in a minute. 1:05, so it should still hopefully be open. Because it said 10 till 4. Doesn't always mean it's unlocked. I mean, look at this, guys, it's just marvellous views. Might not be able to see much in a minute if you bump the old ground. What I'll do is, as I come over to this low wall, the rolling hills and vales of Dorset. And it's just so beautiful just to be able to sit down and admire views like that. It's lovely when you've got blue skies and sunshine. Maybe not quite so nice when you've got clouds like that right over you. Nasty, dirty clouds. Well, I'll be honest with you guys, I'd rather have nasty, dirty clouds over the top than nasty, dirty birds flying right at my face. Those of you that have seen some of my urban exploration videos will know what I'm talking about when I talk about birds flying at my face. Paul, you know what I'm talking about. That's Paul from 3P's Afterlife I'm talking to. Right then, guys, let's see if this door is open. Hopefully. Oh, it is. It is. Right. Gonna get a bit darker soon. Oh, lovely, lovely. Ooh. It's quite spacious. I'd forgotten how spacious it is. It's a bit plain and simple on the inside. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with plain and simple. In fact, plain and simple can be quite nice. Because if you come into a church with the intention of having quiet contemplation, reflection, and you come into a nice, plain, simple church, there's nothing to distract you from your contemplations. Whereas a church with ornate paintings, carvings, this, that and the other, where there's a lot of detail and decoration going on, there can be stuff that potentially distracts you from your contemplation. But I would say with this church, it'd be lovely to sit outside and admire the views and contemplate. Well, guys, that was church number 5. Was it 5? Is it 5? Yeah, church number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. So I'm off now to the 6th church, which is in Fishpond Bottom. There you go. There's a name that sounds a bit like a tropical rectal disease. So anyway, let's take you off to Fishpond Bottom to the 6th church. Recording while cycling, one of those things, don't try this at home. Right, church is along here somewhere. Not too far now. Where is it? It's here we go. Come to a stop. There we go. Our next church. Alright, here we have St John the Baptist, Fishpond. Quite another nice little church. So we're trying to make sure I avoid walking on the graves. I come here. See the sea over there. Just over there is Coney Castle, an old hill fort. And sort of over that direction you've got Lambert's Castle. One day, at some point, I'm going to do a video on Coney Castle and also one on Lambert's Castle. So, got plenty of plans for videos in the future. Right, let's see if we can get inside. I'm not sure if we'll be able to. Always worth a look. Can we? Oh, we can. Lovely. Shut that. that, I always feel a bit guilty about getting too close to this end of the church, but so I'm coming close to this lovely window. Again, another plain, simple church. It's quite nice. How it should be, I think, sometimes. A couple of pianos and an organ, well, electric piano. Now, this is the 6th church out of the 12. 5th one that I've been able to get into. The 5 that I've been able to get into, I haven't seen any of the pilgrimage trail badges. So I've got a feeling they're not doing them, at least not at the moment. So it looks like, at the very least temporarily, they've stopped doing them. Whether they'll start doing them again in the future, I don't know. Well guys, it's now 1:30 and I'm halfway through the pilgrimage trail, so I think now's a good time for me to stop and have a little bit of lunch before carrying on with the second half of the trail. The next church, which will be church number 7 after lunch, I'm going to cross over the border into East Devon to take you to Whitchurch, otherwise known as the Village of Roses, to St John the Baptist Church. Now the reason Whitchurch was known as the Village of Roses is because at least at one point, possibly still true today, the vast majority of properties in the village had roses growing there. It was a village well known for having an abundance of rose bushes. Anyway guys, that's going to be after lunch. Well guys, I've done so much recording today that if I put it all into one video, the video would be about an hour and a half. So what I'm doing is I'm splitting it into 2 videos. This is going to be the end of part 1, so I've done the first 6 churches, and then in part 2 it's going to be the next lot of 6 churches. So I thought, you lot don't want to watch an hour's worth, hour and a half in one go, so that's why I'm splitting it into 2. Well guys, this is the end of part 1, and thank you very much for watching.